Coming up next on Arizona Horizons Journalists Roundtable, the governor signs a bill that makes it more difficult to get citizen initiatives on the ballot. And we'll look at the latest legislative attempt to allow short-term, high-interest loans. Journalists Roundtable is next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizons Journalists Roundtable. I'm Ted Simons. Joining us tonight, Jeremy Duda of the Arizona Capital Times, Bob Christie of the Associated Press, and Luigi Del Puerto of the Arizona Capital Times. Governor Doug Ducey signs a Chamber of Commerce-backed measure that makes it more difficult to get citizen initiatives on the ballot. And Jeremy, he wasted no time getting his signature on this thing.
I think barely had time to collect any dust on his desk before we got word that he signed it. And it's not really surprising. I mean, this is backed by some of the governor's, very close allies. This is very much done in response to some ballot measures that the governor does not like one bit. And so I don't think it's surprising at all that that would get signed so quickly.
And this, again, Bob, involves signature gathering for ballot measures, the idea of paying circulators per signature. No more.
No more, and just for initiatives, though. So the Republican argument was that if you pay people per signature, it gives them more incentive to fraudulently, to put fake signatures on there. Of course, if you're paying somebody by the hour, they have no incentive to gather lots of signatures. Whereas if you pay them per signature, they have a lot of incentive to work hard, right? And the whole trick here is make it more expensive to the opponents anyway, the Democrats say, this will just make it more expensive, harder for citizens to get stuff on the ballot, and only the special interests which the chamber rails against are going to have the money to be able to actually do what they need to do.
And Bob mentions an interesting point. This is for initiatives only, not nominating petitions for lawmakers.
Of course not. Why would lawmakers make it harder for them to get the signatures so they can get re-elected or elected to their offices? And that's one of the criticisms against this bill. Democrats have said, you're supposedly this goes against, or this would check special interests from out-of-state interest coming into Arizona and doing all sorts of things. Well, it doesn't. They don't. They're saying, well, what about the special interests that helped elect, our governor, for example, all those dark money that came in to help him in his election. But I guess this has been an ongoing sort of struggle between the legislature and really the people, because time and again the people would want something, the legislature would change it, and so a couple of years ago the people passed what's called the Voter Protection Act to make sure that the legislature isn't going to change, it's making it more difficult for the legislature to change something that people want.
Yeah, but again, not for law. I mean, if fraud is such a problem here and fraud is such a concern, why would you not include it for lawmaker petitions as well? All petitions. Why do you keep it only for initiatives if that's your real concern?
Well, because the lawmakers do not like initiatives. The entire point of the initiative process is to go around the legislature and things that the people want but the legislature won't pass, such as minimum wage increases that we saw in the past year. That is where this comes into play.
That's what we're talking about here is the chamber very upset over that minimum wage increase and lawmakers saying, okay, here's what we can do.
That's right. The minimum wage passage and the millions that the chamber, the business community, and the governor had to collect to defeat the marijuana measure is the last straw in ongoing years of complaints by the Republican lawmakers and the governor about the initiative process. This bill also does a couple other interesting things. It extends the period of time that the Secretary of State has to confirm the signatures, and it takes away a legal hurdle for suing to keep initiatives off the ballot. So it makes it easier for anybody to sue. There was some fights over the 3 initiatives that qualified for the ballot initially last summer. One of them never made it. But the other 2, there were challenges, and there was always this question of does a person have legal standing, which is a technical thing,
right,
to actually sue. This gives standing to anyone.
Right, and Democrats have also said, and opponents of the bill have also said, that the problem with this one, the problem with the assertion that there's fraud in the initiative process is that what we have seen time and again happen is that if there are not enough signatures, if a group turned in signatures with a high rate of invalidated signatures, what happens is those get caught. And we have seen those in the past where, for example, back in 2008, there was an initiative for transportation, and they submitted signatures that turned out to be have a high number of invalidated signatures. And in fact, that was a reason why former Governor Janet Napolitano said, let's do something about this paper signature ability to pay for signatures.
Go ahead, please.
So now this is not going to be the last that we hear of this bill. Like, from what we've been hearing today, opponents to this, which is an extraordinarily broad coalition of folks who rely on the initiative process, they're already making plans for a citizen referendum on this, which would A, give the voters the opportunity to reject this law that kind of curbs their own power, and B, would also put this law on hold until the voters get their say. And that could be significant, because we're hearing also talk of maybe, in conjunction with a referendum, another initiative that might, do more to loosen up these laws, to affirm the voters' rights to direct democracy. The direct democracy process has been under fire from the legislature for years, and the way that one source put it to me today is, these people, they're getting tired of playing defense, and now they have the opportunity to play some offense.
And that would be on the 2018 ballot. Before then, could this wind up in court?
Yeah, that's the other possibility besides a referendum which would block it, is do they sue and say that this is an unconstitutional block on the people's right? What tack do you take there? Do you say, well, because they excluded other form of signature gathering, is this special legislation? Is this unconstitutional bar on the people's right to collect signatures for one thing, but the other thing, it's okay? Yeah. Now, the Republicans will say, and they'll say this passionately, that initiatives are special. Initiatives, once they're passed because of the Voter Protection Act, they're locked into law, and therefore there should be a higher level of scrutiny on the signature gathering and on other aspects, so that we really make sure that what gets on the ballot and passes has been properly vetted.
And that's also one of the arguments that they make when people ask them, well, why not apply it to candidate signatures? They're saying, well, if people don't like their candidates or their elected officials, they can vote them out every 2 years. And so for initiatives, once the people have made a decision, it's very hard to change them.
Right. Jeremy.
Now, this same law has actually gone to court in a number of other states, and we have some very mixed precedents here. Oregon, the Ninth Circuit upheld it, not really, and the judges basically said, well, we don't necessarily know this is constitutional, but you haven't proven properly that it's an infringement of your rights. A law out of Ohio, I believe, appellate court, they threw that out. A couple other states, I think New York, North Dakota, they upheld it. So if this goes to court, this could help kind of resolve a lot of these issues.
And if it doesn't go to court, the irony of having this on the ballot and having the voters approve what they want to approve as opposed to what the lawmakers did, I mean, it drips.
It drips, and of course, Governor Ducey is going to be on the 2018 ballot too. So, do you
want that?
I
was wondering about that.
Yeah, and there's three other parts that were pushed through out of the House that would repeal the Voter Protection Act or would change it, and there's one that would make you collect signatures in all 30 legislative districts. They were sitting in the Senate, and the Senate president yesterday said, they're dead. I'm not letting them move.
Interesting.
And those would have been referred directly to the ballot and also would have been on the 2018 ballot. So if you're the governor, do you want a bunch of you want to give the Democrats a bunch of ammunition to say, hey, look what the governors and his buddies have been trying to do?
The lack of an effort to fight the minimum wage increase, which we saw from the business community, I think their whole plan was to go to the courts and then go to the legislature to get the work done there as opposed to spending the money against the drive. You will see them fight this on 2018.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay. High interest loans. Luigi, I seem to remember that payday loans, the voters of the state said we don't want them. Then I heard about flex loans. And now we're hearing about consumer access line of credit. This issue continues to come back to the legislature.
That's because the lending industry has been trying since voters a couple years ago said no more payday lending in the state. Overwhelmingly said we can't have those in the state because those are predatory. They're not good for people. They're not good for especially low-income people. The lending industry has been trying to find a way to get back into the game in Arizona, and you are right. There had been several efforts through the years. There was the flex loan from, I think, 2 years ago, and now we have this proposal. And the idea, what they're doing this time is they're saying, okay, we're going to tack on basically a 0.45% fee to a loan that's the maximum, the cap is $2,500, but that fee that they're tacking onto it, that comes out to about 164% annually. And critics are saying, well, the problem with that is that people are not taking out this loan just once. They're taking this out repeatedly. And what happens is they fall into what they call a debt trap.
Yes.
And so now, and also, by the way, this legislation was introduced really late into this process.
164% for loans up to $2,500. We had Senate and House leadership on this week to talk about this, and they're saying that it serves a need. Here's what they had to say.
If somebody has really bad credit, they're not going to get a credit advance from the credit union or a bank. They're not going to be able to qualify for a credit card. They don't have family, so they need some type of option. This option, even though it's a high interest rate, it's actually a lower interest rate than the options out there now.
What you see in communities, especially in low-income communities like the ones that I serve, our funeral comes up and expenses, and we have a jar outside of a business to help raise money because these folks truly don't have any other options out there for them.
No other options out there for them. I mean, we keep hearing that. Are there no other options?
Well, certainly there is. I mean, at some level, some demand for people with very bad credit to get loans. You know, your car breaks down, you need $1,000 to get it fixed, or you can't get your job, and then you can't pay your rent. But the other side of that argument, as Luigi mentioned, was that this is very predatory. People get trapped in these high interest rates that never goes away. This keeps going up and up and up, and there's really no way out of that. And that is why you've seen so much opposition to this over the years. The voters rejected this in 2008 so overwhelmingly, and I believe that the industry outspent the opposition about 15-1. This thing still got creamed. Every year this comes up, and it still gets defeated.
Is it going to pass the legislature?
Highly unlikely, according to my unscientific survey of members. Okay, there's 17 Republicans in the House. It takes 16 to pass. 3 of them say no and heck no. And the fourth said heck no last year, but because that person is now in leadership, doesn't want to discuss that person's position. It's Kimberly Yee, who's the majority. That said, I would think that she might be consistent from year to year. So that would give 4 Republicans. No Democrats are going to vote for this. I don't think it's going to move. That said, the payday loan industry, or the high interest loan industry, these are different groups than the payday lenders, but 164% interest can make you millions and millions and millions of dollars a year, and you will pay what it takes for lobbyists and other ways to get your legislation moved.
And that's why even if this proposal dies this year, we'll probably see something, a hybrid, again next year.
And they'll have a
if
different
not the
name
year
to
after.
it. But
Yes, precisely, yes.
All right, Prop 123 funds, there's a bill out there that says, let's go ahead and find out exactly where these funds are being spent so that we can find out who's given teacher raises and who's not, correct?
Yeah, and this seems very much motivated by a lot of criticism we're seeing, especially directed towards Governor Ducey, about these very paltry teacher raises that he is proposing. And Prop 123 was billed in a lot of quarters as something that this was going to give teachers raises. You want teachers to get more money? Vote for Prop 123. $3.5 billion, 10 years. They get all this money. A lot of these districts, they haven't given raises. This is money that these districts were all owed for years and hadn't been getting, and they had a lot of needs that were building up. But a lot of these lawmakers, they're not so happy that they're now asking for more money for raises.
And this is Senator Debbie Lesko's bill, and she says it's only fair to see how this money is spent. Take a listen.
I have constituents that want to know, how are the schools spending the money? And I think they have the right to know that. And I think legislators have the right to know that too. It was advertised as, we're going to give teacher raises. And so I'm hoping that the school boards and the school districts are giving teachers raises with this money, because it's really needed. And that's what the people want. They want to know how the money is being spent.
That's fine. But if my district has traditionally paid teachers well, and we've given a bunch of raises, but with the Prop 123 money, I needed to fix the air conditioning, and I need to fix a wheel on the bus or something along these lines, all of a sudden it's going to look like I'm not giving teacher raises.
Yeah, no, that's the exact point of the school districts, which is you're not, you know, if you just say, what did you do with this small chunk of new money? And I am the school district, and I said, well, you know, 3 years ago and 2 years ago and 1 year ago before this money, I gave my teachers raises and didn't redo the roof and didn't buy new textbooks, and the need was built up. Then what do we do? And then Senator Lesko just said, you know, this was advertised on giving teachers more money. Well, it's the governor who advertised it, and that's not what the settlement was.
Right, exactly. In fact, the governor's office, when they were, it was the governor's office and then somebody who used to work for the governor's office who ran this proposal, who ran the campaign for this proposal. At some point during the campaign, they were seeing that they were not getting the traction they needed to pass it. So they started scaring people. And they scared people by saying, look, these school districts have said that they're going to raise teacher salaries. If this the Proposition 123 does not pass, the teachers are not going to see those raises. So yeah, she is correct, but she neglected to, Senator Lesko is correct, but Senator Lesko neglected to mention that it was the governor's office. It was the Republicans who told people and sold this as a pay hike for teachers.
And a lot of districts did give raises. I mean, I did a whole round of phone calls 3 or 4 months after the money started flowing. And most districts that I talked to said, yeah, at least half of our money is going to teacher salaries. And some others, I mean, so there's a lot of difference between each district because it doesn't all have to go there, but a lot of them did give raises.
And the whole idea that we're going to come in and start suddenly like finding out how the school districts are spending this money sort of also doesn't mention the fact that this was money owed to the teachers. This was a result of a settlement because the legislature has not been providing the school districts the money that's owed to them. And so therefore, and quite frankly, there were no strings attached when this proposal was approved by the voters.
Sure, it took a long time to work out this deal where the school groups all agreed to the terms of what they ended up putting on the ballot. You have to wonder if those negotiations would have gone as smoothly if they started putting requirements like this onto it.
All right, let's keep it moving here. We got a bill that would stop the annual $96 million sweep of the Highway User Revenue Fund. The Highway User Revenue Fund is designed, oddly enough, for highways. And yet every year, $96 million goes to DPS.
Correct. Well, for almost 30 years, this is about $120 million a year total fund. And for almost 30 years, the legislature, when they need a few bucks, they'll reach in there. Starting about 7 or 8 years ago, they started to take all of it, all $128 million. And when we hit the Great Recession, they took all this money. It's supposed to go to counties and cities to help them maintain their roads and to build new ones. And they started raiding that fund. 2-3 years ago, there was a deal made where we were stored with $30 million, another 30, and another 30. Well, every year it comes back, and last year the governor gave him $96 million. This year he took it all back. The rural districts especially, if you're not Maricopa County, if you're not Pima County, you don't have any road money, your roads are falling apart. So those lawmakers will not pass a budget unless this is fixed. So Bob Worsley, the senator from Mesa, comes up with a plan where he says, we will raise vehicle license fees, so everybody's car registration goes up a few bucks, and we will start licensing electric cars and propane cars at the regular rate, not give them the break anymore because they're driving on the roads too, and we'll dedicate that money to the highway patrol, and then your highway funds will be free. We won't have to rate them anymore.
Luigi, that sounds a little bit like a tax.
It does sound like a tax, and that's precisely the reason why this bill is probably, well, not probably, this bill is not going anywhere. Senate President Steve Yarborough has said, I am not putting this bill on the floor for a vote. And the reason for that is a lot of the members of his caucus feel that providing or giving the director of ADOT, the Transportation Department, the authority to set the VLT fees is akin to a tax. And mind you, a couple years ago, they did something similar, something called Medicaid expansion, and people were not happy about giving the access director the
Yes.
same authority to raise or set the fee for hospitals.
Sounds very similar to what happened regarding Medicaid.
Oh, exactly. And despite the fact that this has been upheld by a couple of courts so far, a lot of these folks in the legislature are not so happy about how that worked out, and certainly don't want to continue that precedent if they have the opportunity.
So what happens? The highway use it's HERF money, HERF. So is HERF getting swept yet again then? I mean,
96 million of it is not in this. There's a $120 million fund that's supposed to go to counties and cities. $96 million of it is planned to be rated this year. I hate the word swept because it doesn't tell you anything. Rated is a better word.
I like that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the governor's budget, but trust me, that money will be there, or at least a good part of it, because they won't get the votes on the budget if they don't get some of this HERF money back.
These rural folks, they're serious about this, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they are. And it's every year there's a battle over this bit of money.
Sure, and that's the kind of the ironic thing about the fact this is getting killed by Senate Republicans' opposition is that a lot of these same folks, they're not happy about the governor continuing this raid, this sweep. They want this money back. It's just the method by which the bill would go about doing that.
Okay, you mentioned Senator Bob Worsley. He has also been behind this idea of getting an arena, a brand new arena for the Coyotes, or really any sporting enterprise by way of a community engagement district, which means the tax money all goes back into the construction within the district, the construction of the new arena, et cetera, et cetera. I could explain this for the next 10 minutes, but why bother? This is going nowhere.
Well, it's not going nowhere because there's a whole lot of resistance to what basically is some sort of kind of tax increment financing is what you're looking at. And people and legislators, especially Republicans, are very wary of such a financing scheme. And we've heard from John Kavanagh, for example. We've heard from the Senate President. We've heard from the House Speaker, who have all said, look, we don't really like the idea. And it does not look like this has enough votes to pass.
And added to that, you have a few weeks ago the Coyotes basically laying down this ultimatum, this threat, saying if you guys don't pass this, we're going to have to leave the state. And who does not love being threatened over at the legislature?
Well, and again, public dollars for private concerns.
Right.
You better have a really good case for this, correct?
You really do, especially money is tight, and the public has told the legislature that they're tired of the Diamondbacks saying, "Oh, that giant new stadium you built us, we want a new one." The Coyotes Stadium, which is built with public funds, an arena out in Glendale, there's $140 or $150 million left to be paid on that. They want out of that. That's going to be on the taxpayers' heads. I think there's no appetite for this in the legislature. Now, that said, Senator Worsley strongly believes that this is a big economic driver. That he says they're going to leave if we don't fix this problem, and that's a huge amount of jobs, it's a huge amount of revenue, and it's a huge amount of prestige for Phoenix.
They have a home. They have a home.
They have a home that even Gary Bettman, who's the head of the NHL, says, we've tried everything to make this team financially viable at Glendale. It cannot happen. It is not financially viable there. Nobody goes to Glendale for a hockey game. If we put it downtown where our base is, or east, out in on Scottsdale or in Tempe, that's where our base is. People will go there.
The residents of Glendale probably have a very different feeling when you ask them whether it's a good idea for a team that they had funded, whose stadium they had funded for and still paying for. And by the way, it's full disclosure, I'm from Glendale, so I'm paying that tax. But you do have Anthony Kern from Glendale who's saying, look, this is very bad for my district. This is very bad for my constituents. And quite frankly, the idea of a financing scheme where the state pitches in for a private enterprise, that's just a whole lot of people in the legislators are very wary of that.
The only way they could get the people to sign off on this is if the Coyotes or the NHL or Senator Worsley comes up with some scheme to pay off the Glendale Arena and to replace that revenue, because that's going to be another draw away from the Glendale Arena. They have concerts out there. If you build another new arena on the other side of town, who's going to go, it's a mess.
We have 1 minute left here. Shannon's law, the law against firing a gun in city areas, municipal areas, in the air negligently, the attempt to narrow that and make, in case an accident occurred or something, No way, huh? That stays. Shannon Law stays.
Yeah, that is done. Senate President Yarborough, not a fan of this, and Representative Rivera, who sponsored this, is concerned that people are going to get prosecuted for accidents, things that were not intentional or negligent. But if you're Senate President Yarborough, you have to look at the optics of this. Are terrible. We have this law that was passed because a woman was killed by a bullet fired by somebody who fired into the air, and now this any attempt to weaken this, that looks terrible.
But Rivera's argument is that you don't automobile accidents, you don't criminalize those.
Well, it's very different with a firearm, of course, because you shoot a gun and it's not like you made a left turn wrong, right? So if the gun goes off, even what he argues is that accidental gunshots have been prosecuted. Bill Montgomery, the county attorney here in Maricopa County, says absolutely no, we will not prosecute people for accidentally shooting their gun. If they go out back and start firing in the air, felony.
And Senate President Steve Yarborough says it's solid public policy, and so we close the book on that one. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Monday on Arizona Horizon, the first woman hired as chief of the Phoenix Police Department and the first woman hired as the city's fire chief. Join us to discuss the impact of women leading public safety departments. That's Monday at 5:30 and 10 on the next Arizona Horizon. Tuesday, we begin our focus on the final round of NCAA basketball championships to be played in Glendale with ASU basketball coach Bobby Hurley, who won a title as a player for Duke. Wednesday, we look at the economic impact of the NCAA event. Thursday, what are the logistics of putting on this major sporting spectacle? And Friday, we wrap it up with a special sports reporter edition of the Journalists Roundtable. Full coverage of the final round of the NCAA basketball tournament next week here on Arizona Horizon. That's it. I'm Ted Simons. Thanks for joining us. You have a great weekend.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you. When you want to be more informed, Arizona PBS delivers news and analysis with multiple perspectives, thanks to financial support from you and
Whitfill Nursery, proud to support Arizona PBS, a Valley tradition since 1946. Over 200 acres of Arizona-grown trees, citrus, and palms. Complete custom design and installation. And Whitfill Nursery still does the digging. WhitfillNursery.com.
explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
Hi, I'm Amy Brenneman. My family and I are enthusiastic fans of public media. Public television and radio strengthen our democracy. They educate our children and empower us all to be lifelong learners. Each PBS and NPR station is a local nonprofit organization committed to the local community. Public media belongs to you and me. It's up to us to protect this essential national treasure. Information on how you can help is found at protectmypublicmedia.org.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
Arizona PBS celebrates basketball in Arizona with a slam dunk night of programming. First at 7, a deeply personal look at small town life following a down but not out varsity basketball team as it struggles to compete and the town tries to hang on for survival. Independent Lens presents Medora. Then at 8:30, celebrate the early years of legendary coach John Wooden. Told through archival photos and interviews, this half-hour biography details John Wooden's formative experiences in his native Indiana. John Wooden, the Indiana Story. Then at 9, city basketball courts throughout New York City's 5 boroughs are home to the world of pickup basketball. Playground legends, NBA athletes, and everyday players tell the story of these revered basketball courts. Doing it in the park.